Hi everyone, welcome back to Earl Grey Books. I'm Ellie and today I am talking about my quarter one wrap up and my quarter two goals for 2025. So the start to the year hasn't been great in terms of my reading, but I'd kind of expected that a little bit. I have been in a reading slump for about a year and a half now. I just don't read as much as I used to. I don't make time for it as often as I used to, and that's just the reality of the situation. And I also just think that I've been stuck with a couple of books I didn't really enjoy, things I just didn't gel with, and then that makes it harder to pick something else up. And even when I find books I really love, it's hard to know what to follow them up with. So I don't have a whole lot to talk about in regards to my wrap up. So let's start there. First one, how many books have I read? I've read 11 this year. Up until March. I used to read 11 books a month, and now I've read 11 over 3 months, including 2 of those were DNFs. As I said, it is what it is. You can't read more if you don't make time to read. I've still been making time to buy books though. I have bought 15 books by the end of March, which isn't too bad. Again, sometimes I used to buy 15 or more books a month. So 15 for 3 months is pretty good. I've also unhauled 18 books. I did a little mini clean out of my shelves. Probably going to do another mini clean out of my shelves in the next few weeks. And so pretty happy with having gotten rid of 18 that just aren't things I'm interested in anymore, or things that weren't working for me. So that leaves my TBR sitting at 289 when I started on 300. So I'm happy to be sitting there for now. Obviously I'd love it to be lower, but considering, the amount that I'm reading right now, that's just not really viable. So 289 is good. Now let's talk about my goals going into the second quarter of the year. This is kind of a busy quarter around my reading and bookish things. It's Babe in June, and I'm very much looking forward to that. I have bought quite a lot of books, but I think still less than I bought last time, which was kind of the goal there. Of course, I'll talk more about what I've ordered and what I've read and everything either after the event or just closer to the event. With that kind of at the end of this quarter, I am not trying to do anything too exciting with these goals. My first one is to drop my reading goal from 100 to 50. Because I set it to 100 hoping that I would magically get out of this slump and make time for reading, and I haven't. I just don't think it's possible to reach 100 at this point. As with every time I set these goals in every quarter, I will kind of assess in the next quarter whether these goals are still working for me, if they need to be dropped further, or if are doing really well with my reading, if they can go up. But 50 is what I've set for the end of the year now. That means that by the end of the second quarter, I should have read 25, which would mean that I have 14 to read between April and the end of June, which is giving me about 4 to 5 books a month, which is kind of roughly where I am sitting with the amount of books I can get through. Of course, a major goal this quarter is to do with Eurovisionathon. That starts mid-April, in a couple of days when you're seeing this, and it goes till mid-May, so that is a major focus. I have quite a few books on my TBR, on my physical TBR, so I'm hoping that I can read some of those, and then that will help with both my reading goal and my TBR. So the last one is my TBR goal, which I'm keeping kind of simple, and I'm saying that I want it to either stay at 289 or lower. So rather than like trying to necessarily take more books off, because obviously there's Babe, I just want to stay at the same number, or if I can possibly lower it, that would be great, but staying at 289 would still be good. That's everything that I've kind of set out. Keeping it simple, trying to just motivate myself to read at all, and focusing on that rather than necessarily focusing on like other challenges, you know, like trying to finish series or whatever. I will think about that later down the road, but right now, just finishing anything, taking anything off my TBR is a win. All right, that's it from me today. I will see you all next time. I think at this point, my next video will probably be my first vlog for Eurovisionathon. So I will see you all soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.